Hey, welcome in. Well, this was predictable. Here's the headline: NBC's worst case scenario. Olympics ratings crash as Americans snub games. And I wonder why that would be happening. I think there's a couple of different reasons. Let's take a quick look here first. This is from March 30th of 2021. As NBA ratings decline, poll shows 34% watched less sports. That's all sports over social justice messages. So that's sports in general. And why? It's over SJW messages. So a lot of people don't like it. They don't like it. Politics mixed in with their sports. And you can see right here, politics mixed in. So, but that's only one side of it. Now, the people who would support protests like this are leftists. And they don't like whatever country they're from. If it's a Western country, they don't like the country that they're in, all right? Because they're leftists. I mean, certainly in the United States, the leftists seem to think that the U.S. is a terrible country. I mean, why would they support it? Why would they cheer it on? The people who would support, these protests probably aren't going to watch the Olympics. In fact, they're less likely to. And as, social justice takes over Western countries and the United States, there's going to be fewer and fewer people that want to cheer on their country. Of course, they don't like it. I mean, they don't even like competition anyway. They're Marxists, right? They think that competition is oppression. They probably think that getting a medal is a hate crime. But anyway, so there have been some protests. Actually, not that many. Just a few. And there have been, patriotic displays as well. Here's an example. Patriotic gold medalist Tamira Mensah uses prize money to buy food truck for widowed mother. I've just seen her struggling ever since my dad died, and I don't like seeing it. I mean, just reading that almost made me tear up. I mean, that is nice. People like seeing stuff like this. And you can see holding the flag there, and she's in tears. I mean, come on, that's moving. And there's other examples of that as well. And the actual protests, there weren't that many, but they get a lot of attention because the media loves it. The media will spend a lot more time talking about social justice protests than they will about, patriotic celebrations. So the women's soccer team kneels before the Olympic openers to protest racism, which by the definition of the left is just anything, right? It could just literally be anything. But that gets a lot of ink because, again, the media loves it. The media is all over it. Here you have Gwen Berry, who turned from the flag, says she felt set up by anthem playing at Olympic trials. Felt set up because they played the anthem at the Olympics. Okay. So again, if you're somebody who would support her doing that, well, you're probably not watching the games anyway, and there's more and more people like that, which means that would automatically put the ratings down. And then people who are patriotic or just not into social justice or mixing politics with sports, that's going to turn them off. So really, it's a no-win situation. Anyway, it says NBC's ratings for this year's Olympic Games in Tokyo crashed from what they were 5 years ago in Rio de Janeiro. It says on many days throughout the 17-day spectacle, viewership of the games clocked in at roughly half of what it was for the games in 2016. This is a big problem in terms of making money from advertisers, a major problem. And don't forget it costs a lot of money to broadcast this stuff. It ain't cheap. Quote, when you look at the numbers, it's hard to be pleased with them. University of Alabama Sports Communications Program Director Andy Billings told the Associated Press, it's probably NBC's worst case scenario, but it's probably a worst case scenario that they would have been able to predict months ago. Because again, it's not like nobody knew that ratings for sports were declining. See, NBC's primetime coverage of the Tokyo Olympics on July 26th averaged 14.7 million viewers for a 49% drop compared to the equivalent night from the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Games and 53% less than the 2012 London Olympics. The opening ceremonies saw their lowest viewership since 1988. And, why would they be surprised? I mean, NBC is one of those networks that has helped build the toxic atmosphere for sports viewing. I mean, NBC, MSNBC, it's just 24 hours of the United States is bad. I mean, is it get woke, go broke? Yeah, probably. So let's see. Americans' excitement for the Olympics has flagged along with other sports, and some experts are blaming an increase on athlete activism for the lack of interest in sporting events. And it's not like the U.S. did badly in the Olympics. No, I mean, they're first place. First place for both gold, silver, bronze, and all together. In fact, it looks like a pretty dominant win, doesn't it? But I guess maybe it doesn't matter if you alienate your own audience, or a large portion of it. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.